Wide receiver KJ Osborn just crushed in week 15. Going into Monday Night Football, he's the wide receiver 2, 10 for 157 and a touchdown, 16 targets. And, the Colts give up the fewest fantasy points to the opposing wide receivers, but Kenny Moore was out for this game, and Isaiah Rodgers was shadowing Adam Thielen for the majority of the game. And so Osborn just absolutely feasted. And I don't anticipate he's going to have as good of a matchup against the Giants or the Packers, but Osborn is one of those best ball type of players. He finished as the wide receiver 16 way back in week 3, 5 for 73 and a touchdown. He also finished as the wide receiver 26 last week, 5 for 38 and a touchdown against Detroit. And yes, Green Bay and New York aren't going to be easy matchups, but if you move on because KJ Osborn was one of the wide receivers you stacked with in best ball, congratulations to you because he has this type of upside. All right, if y'all like the content, make sure you hit that red subscribe button. And looking at last year, near the end of the year, he had 4 of his last 6 games were double-digit fantasy points. Week 13, 12.7 fantasy. This was in 2021. 12.7 fantasy points, 15.8. Then he had a dud against Chicago, then 15.3, and then 12.5. Like, that might make your best ball lineups. Those 12, 15, 13-point games, that'll do it. So KJ Osborn is a player that is better for best ball and going to be a good stack with Kirk Cousins moving forward, but he's not a player that I'm confident putting into my lineup for the fantasy playoffs, fantasy championship.